Hi, Nine. Um, this is for anyone who is doing GCSE geography next year. Um, I'm not sure if you've heard which subjects you've got now, but hopefully, if you've picked geography, you should be getting geography next year. And so, with this home learning thing, obviously, do your lessons, which are fairly straightforward about different continents, because I thought that would be quite useful. But this presentation is just going to talk you through a project which you could do, which hopefully you'll find quite interesting. Um, and when you've finished, so there's quite a long deadline, but when you've finished, you can upload it, email it to me, and it can be in lots of different formats. So, firstly, most of you have already seen the YouTube clip that's on this slide, um, but it's Prince EA, and basically, it's all about what we're doing to our planet. And what's really interesting, actually, is one of the positive things that might be coming out of this coronavirus disaster is that our planet is rejuvenating. So, there's less planes in the sky and so on. So that's just one of the positives. But have a little look at that YouTube clip that's on there and just remind yourselves of some of the issues that face planet Earth. So this image basically just illustrates that we only have one Earth and we have to take care of it. So one of the issues that you might want to look into is about the environment and what we can do to take care of it. Some of you might want to look into global warming a little bit more. And obviously, we've done a lot of work on bushfires and different wild weather events. So you might want to focus your attention on that a little bit more if you wish. On this slide, is that for years, for hundreds of years, from the 1700s, the population didn't really change. And it's only in recent history, so from sort of 1960, that the population of the world has just rocketed. And so one project might be to investigate that, to see whereabouts in the world a lot of that population growth has been, or possibly focusing on one country where there's population issues. So China is one example, or India is another, and the impact that rapid population growth in the world can have. Another interesting topic that you might be interested in studying is about our oceans and the pollution that's taking place. So David Attenborough did a whole series of programs, Blue Planet, which is all about ocean plastics and the damage that they're doing to our ecosystems on Earth. So you might want to investigate that. It's a really useful, interesting investigation. This image illustrates blood diamonds. So we looked at coltan mining in the Congo back in the autumn term, but you could investigate other minerals like diamonds or gold and the impact that's having on those countries. And the blood represents the people that are being killed in order to get these really expensive products for us to have in this country and other countries. Another topic which is really prominent in the news is migration. And this is images of Syrian migrants that have turned up on a beach in Greece. So this was a couple of years ago, but this is happening at the moment, even within this coronavirus epidemic. So that would be a really interesting kind of project to look at, and look at the plight of the migrants, the journey some of the migrants have taken would be really useful. This image is really pretty horrendous, but there are people around the world, particularly in African countries, where there is not enough food. So people are not getting enough food to actually survive. So the issue of world poverty and hunger is another massive global issue, which you might be interested in, and you could look into um, why are there so many people in the world that are hungry? What are the reasons for that? What implications does that have on different parts of the world? And maybe what we could do about it, which could link to the work you did back in year 7 on fair trade. Deforestation. So this is in Indonesia, but you could look at any rainforest in the world, or even a boreal forest up in Russia, for example. and look at how deforestation is changing the ecosystems and the impact that's having. Simon Reeve did a really good documentary series on Russia, which looks a little bit at the boreal forests, but there's loads of stuff about the Amazon rainforest, which obviously links back to the stuff you did in year 7, or also the Indonesian rainforest, the Congolese rainforest, or the Australian rainforest. This one is an image showing the illegal animal trade. And this is another topic which you might find interesting to study. So, what is the illegal animal trade? Where is it happening? How is it happening? What's being done about it? Endangered, all of these animals are endangered species. So that's species which are threatened with extinction. So some of you might be interested in doing some research about endangered species, and why they're endangered, what's causing them to be endangered, and the impact that might have. This one's a bit tricky to research in that it depends what kind of level of filtering you've got. But this is the illegal arms trade, and about how guns and weapons are getting into the hands of children in many poorer countries around the world. And some of you might be interested in doing a bit of research on that. You can go back through those slides if you want to have a look, but that's just to introduce you into some of the issues that you might choose. And what I'd like you to do for this extended project, and again, this is for students doing GCSE, is to pick one of the topics. So if you look at step 1, it says choose one of the following issues. So it could be global warming, rapid population increase, a country study of one poor country, one LIDC. So it might be the Congo or Ethiopia. The problem with plastic, the illegal arms trade, conflict diamonds or coltan, international migration, the food crisis, rainforest burning, or if you can think of another geographical issue that you'd be interested in, then you could pick that. At the bottom it says you can work in a group, but obviously when we're in class that's easier. However, if you want to work remotely with someone else to share ideas, that would be absolutely fine. So once you've picked your topic, you're then going to do some research. So you've got to have access to a computer for this, or your phone, to find out what the issue is, why it's a problem. So really kind of looking into depth about why it is a problem. So why population increase is an issue, or why conflict diamonds cause a problem. What effects the issue is having on the economy, so economic impacts like money and jobs, the environment and the people or the society. What can be done to help the problem? So have any strategies been put in place, and how successful have these been? And how does the issue affect you? So some of the issues might affect you really directly, like the plastic in the oceans. You might find plastic when you're on your daily walk, for example, along Sidmouth Beach. But if you're doing an issue like the arms trade, it might be harder to think about how that issue affects you. But all of the issues on here do affect us all in some way. You can choose how to present your work. So you could do a written report, you could write a speech, you could record a speech if you want, do a giant poster, a PowerPoint presentation, anything like that. And obviously, it says you'll present to the rest of the class, but you will just send your work to me. And again, I've just reminded you what the kind of key learning objectives are and the success criteria, so that I can look at your work and give you feedback if and when you complete it. If you've got any questions about this, then just email me. But I thought it was quite an interesting thing to get your teeth into over the next few weeks or possibly months. I hope you're all well. Bye.